Alright, this video marks the first anniversary of my channel. Nothing too fancy, but then again, that's my channel in a nutshell. So, it was more than a year ago that I got this in from Japan, and this is what I did my first video on. It was just an unboxing of a JRPG, or to be perfectly accurate with the terms, TTRPG that I got from Japan. Special ordered the limited edition version of this Goblin Slayer game. I did paint the miniature. Let me see if I can get some good pictures of the miniature up here. Let me try the camera. The camera may not be working, so I'll just switch to overpollating some. Yeah, so this is what the miniature looks like. But in any case, so I got this, and this brought me to thinking, in tribute to the first anniversary, maybe I should do something related back to this. But what most of the dead games I cover tend to be of a much more American or Western flavor. Japanese dead games are relatively hard for me to come by. That brought the question, are there Japanese dead games? What kind of dead games are there in Japan? Now, speaking about it, Japan has an interesting thing with its game culture. Most of Japanese game culture, as we should all know, is dominated by video games. Tabletop gaming of many different varieties is a smaller slice of the pie, but it's still there. A lot of it's imported, so it's not native born. But when it comes to role-playing games, which to differentiate from JRPGs, which are computer-based, the TTRPG, or the tabletop role-playing game, it's usually imported or from Japan. It could be either or. Call of Cthulhu is the most common game there, but they have a plenty of native ones as well. And I discovered the Japanese tabletop RPG industry is actually doing a pretty good job right now, even though it's considered more of a niche market. They are making inroads to the West, and there's plenty of Westerners who want Japanese role-playing games to add to theirs. So I looked out and just out of nowhere, these aren't dead games, I found some new games that were produced. This one was made in 2006 in Japan. This was made in 2007 in Japan. But this came over to France in 2013 and to an English language version, I believe in 2015 or 16. And this, of course, has been in English. I don't know the exact years, but it's a similar time frame. And these games are available. You can go get them. They're actually I got a hold of them after having learned of them within a month. So it was not very hard for me to get a hold on these. This one I think is even print on demand, whereas this one you have to go find a copy of the, and it has a really nice texture to it too. Ryutama is actually a pretty cool game. I like it. This one is interesting. This could be a whole different video, but I want to say this. Japan started role-playing as an industry in the 80s. They've had a few games that have been successful over the years, like Sword World or Tokyo Nova. But when it comes to games that are actually dead, I've compiled a list of them. And the dead games I have no way to verify they're actually living or dead. Now, I know about some games, but because I've heard of them talked about, or I've heard about them being played. But the ones I'm going to show here has a very low chance of them being played. I have a list sorted primarily by a hobby company that has made them, and also by date. But this list shows you what just is available as far as dead Japanese games. Now, it's going to be difficult for me to get a hold of any of these. Some of them are just priced out of my range. Some are they are only found in foreign markets where I need to have real Japanese language skills to go find them. But I think it would be interesting in the future to look into dead games from Japan on this channel, although right now it's outside of my skill and monetary reach to do so. But it's a funny idea because these role-playing games most likely have that same aspect where they were popular at one time. Right now they're just collecting dust on some Japanese grognard shelf. I don't know. Maybe the Japanese role-playing community does have wider play of their materials than we do. If you appreciated watching my videos, thank you very much. I'm glad you did so. I may just in the future branch into dead games from other cultures as well, whether or not I can read the language or not, Japan being my primary interest. But we'll see how this turns out. Thank you for watching my videos, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Christmas and the holiday season. And for your games, may the dice roll ever in your favor.